Chain smoke, that's a kill for real. Destination of base for real. Rest the places you came for real.
Handling some technical
difficulties. I be all in my bag for real. I be balling like Shaq for real. I be pumping them packs for real. I be stumbling through racks for real.
Shout out to Jody, my Jody, and Beast Mode Music.
From this rap for real.
I be doing my thing for real. I be all about gang for real. Brother watching the chain for real. Got some M's in the bank for real. Only blowing the stank for real. Double cup full of drink for real. Ain't no limit to my niggas spending that's that tank for real. And we are live. Thank you so much for joining me. Shoutout. I am the super duper trunk rattler. This is the 12th episode of the She Shed Show. Today is October the 6th. I'm your host. I'm joined this evening by Miss Lovey.
Hey, she.
The queen of all things indie.
Hey.
This evening we have a show that is packed full of great content for you guys. I really hope that you enjoy it. If you want to interact with me, please head over to YouTube and look for the channel I Love to Jam Radio. We are live there. You can drop some comments and I'll be able to see them on our screen and we can interact a little bit more easily that way. Also, you can check in with us on Facebook. We are at Love to Jam, one word, the number 2 radio. You can also find me on Instagram. I am super-duper_trunk rattler. On Facebook, I am Madre Supremo Grandmother. So this evening we have some pretty different topics to talk about. I really wanted to bring in some different relationship topics, not just for man and woman, but, you know, things that you could use in your everyday life, in your relationships and things and so forth. So the first topic this evening is going to be bottom feeders. Have you ever heard that term before, Lovey?
I have heard that term, friend.
Really? What do you know of it?
Bottom feeders are like at the bottom of the ocean.
Okay.
So they eat the very bottom of everything that they can have, like the algae, the plankton, the smallest, most, bottom of the bottom.
Yes. Yep.
Situation.
Now, I asked someone else if they knew what bottom feeder was, and they told me they thought that a bottom feeder was somebody who ate booty.
Shout out to Meg Thee Stallion for that awesome reference.
So no, we're not on that Trick Daddy Eat a Booty game.
Right.
And we are also not talking about the animals that scavenge the bottom of bodies of water, eating sediment and gook and algae and other things that lurk down there. We're actually talking about bottom feeders in the context of dating and meeting and relationships. So now, bottom feeders in this context are really a person, to me, they're a person that likes to really see and date multiple people, and they're often in socially vulnerable states.
That's a bottom feeder?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. They tend to like poor people and people with small children, unattractive people, it's kind of subjective, overweight people, older, lonely people, young people, too young for them, handicapped people, and usually it's all done as you only get the profit of sexual relationships.
Right.
It's not really much benefit for the person who is in a more vulnerable state other than the attention and the affection, and sometimes that's what they need, but oftentimes they actually need someone who will really truly team up with them. And I had 2 examples. The first is Bill Maher.
Okay.
You see how he's kind of, influential, and he tends to have lots of people on his job, lots of celebrities in his way on his show. He has a pretty strong opinion and so forth. And but the types of people that he tends to date are what we would consider traditionally kind of beneath him.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're not on his, financial status. They're not in, where he is in his career. And, when you talk about compatibility, and those things matter when you get with someone, because oftentimes when you get with someone who is out of your league, so say,
Hmm.
then oftentimes you're handing over a certain level of control.
Right.
The trade off is that this person either knows more than you, or has more resources, or has access to certain things that you would not. And I see this often. I knew of a guy some years ago, very good looking guy. I mean, really attractive guy. He was not really interested in any kind of relationships, nor was he really interested in dating women who were really into him. He actually was more interested in dating, you know, quantity over quality.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he was just, hollering at every woman. Thank you for joining. Thank you again. Um, he was just interested in dating like women who needed him, women that were kind of vulnerable, needed places to stay, didn't have cars on the bus, having some, just having problems in life. And his the way he was benefiting really um, was just that, he had people who needed him, so for him, all he had to really supply was, sex and marijuana and alcohol.
Wait a minute. What
Yeah.
does weed have to do with this? No, I'm
Well,
just kidding.
that's a part of it. That actually is a part of it. It's actually really difficult to just say that it's just one thing. The tools to get the people to kind of submit to what he had going on or whatever. It was, it was kind of sketchy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
but just a way really to. Oh, I can't hear myself. Just a way to recognize a bottom feeder, right?
What? The term, though.
Bottom feeder.
Yes,
You don't
it's the
like
term
it.
for me.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I understand it. It sounds kind of
yeah, because it implies that those people are on the bottom or like
Yeah,
the lower
that's
rung
right.
of female pickings, and it's fucked
not
up.
female pickings. Women do it too.
Okay, well, what do you mean? Please elaborate.
Yeah, I said people. I was real specific.
Okay.
I really wanted to make sure that I was not trying to say this is all a male dominated kind of activity. This is something that anybody could really do. Let's say you had a woman out there who wanted control of the relationship, and all she really wanted to do was to, have somebody at her beck and call. She could just as easily go out and find someone who needed her. They were pillar to post or not having whatever it is that they needed, and they were really struggling, and that makes her a bottom feeder too. Just trying to find somebody who they could just kind of manipulate and dominate, and men like sex, and some like it easy, no doubt. And it's not just men, women are like that too.
Really?
I'm not really one that subscribes to like this, men do this and then women do a different thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes there are shitty people in both genders,
True.
right? So it's not all the time, just simply said that, it's just men who like that. Picking up people from the shelter is a good example.
I hate him.
You ain't lying.
I hate you, Cranston.
Yeah,
Get off the live because you're doing too much.
Cranston ain't lying. No, that's a good example, because that's exactly where they be at. And at bus stops, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even really get out there and walk to the store anymore to get get you something to drink in the morning, whatever it is you need, coffee or something in the morning, and make that little trek to the store, and boom, you got people pulling over on the side of the road, and you know how that goes. Hey, little mama, you need a ride.
And then you don't even know that you really are on a whole nother situation.
Yeah,
Shout out to Rashad, the realist, for tuning in.
Thank you, Rashad. Thank you so much. I'm gonna reach out to you too.
Yeah,
hit
he
me
did
on
a dope
Instagram.
job
Absolutely.
for the pictures.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know if you saw.
I saw a few of them. I didn't see a whole lot for myself. And,
yeah, the ones you
man.
took, like you didn't take a whole bunch.
Yeah, well, I tried. I tried.
And then you
sometimes
ran out of there.
I did have to. I had somewhere to be.
Oh, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. I was
Yeah.
just glad you were able to come by.
I did. I
and
did
meet
come.
the team.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, everybody was there. Everybody was looking good. Everybody was in their positive mind. And I really enjoyed that. And plus, we got to see Lil Pat, the nicest.
The nicest. Shout out Lil Pat.
Boy is dope. Make sure you look him up. Lil Pat, B.
Yeah, B. I really like the She Shed show and the direction that it's going in. And I wanted to I'm really still processing the bottom feeding thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, when you really think about it, but it's like, would you date a guy that was considered to be bottom, like the bottom of the barrel, I guess you could say?
Yeah.
And what does that look like?
What that looks like for a guy?
For you to consider that a nigga is at the bottom of the barrel.
Oh, we know what that is. Someone who, may not have a job, may not have a place to stay. The whole gambit. It's not a real difficult thing. He may not have any clothes. He might have just got out of prison. He might, just be kind of, away from his family in another state. Maybe, he just has financial problems, or he has other kind of situations going through his life, child support problems or a warrant or something. He might be running from the cops. You don't know. in those situations, you know what I'm saying? Bottom feeder really just means that you are struggling. You are like deep down in there. You are really trying to pull yourself. You might be suffering from some depression, suffering from all kinds of stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's difficult to really just pinpoint one type of person in specific, because it's not just one type of something on the bottom.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If you look in that paradigm of what we are in America as, socially, the people at the bottom who are really struggling to get, established in life and things like that, they do have to sometimes lean on others so they can get up and get on to the next levels and better support themselves. And sometimes they do use relationships and romance as the vehicle to get there. It's not an unheard of thing. I remember some years ago when they were talking about cuddle season,
cuffing season.
Yeah. And all the guys were saying, "Oh, you got to get you a big girl during the winter." It's the same kind of idea, that you're just kind of using people, and that shit is whack. But so I really wanted to kind of deep dive a little bit into how you can really identify a bottom feeder. And now in this situation, I'm going to just say, you can on social media just receive a random message from somebody, right?
Right.
Or in another way, you might be out moving around or somebody, and somebody just acts like you are just the most beautiful thing they ever seen in their life. They might come up on you and give you all kinds of compliments, tell you how beautiful you are, really kind of look a little out of your league. They might be jumping out of something really, really nice vehicle, dress really nice, have an established career, stuff like that, and they're just all over you. Hey, what's going on, Sirhan? Thank you for joining. They treat you too nice. They treat you too. It's
Is there
lack
such a
of
thing?
Ambition or drive to get to a better place that makes a person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, to manipulate and use people. Absolutely.
Damn.
Thank you, Rashad.
Do you think the people know, like, intentionally, or you think it becomes a person's nature to be a quote unquote bottom feeder?
You know, I don't know exactly how a person will become a bottom feeder, but I definitely do know that they are not emotionally available.
Hmm.
They're not really trying to get too deep into the emotional side of dating, having to speak
Be
about your
vulnerable and
feelings,
stuff.
yeah, be vulnerable, and try to create relationships when you know how it is
Shout out to Eddie Smith. It's Nash. Thank you for tuning in. I love that
already.
all these people are tuned into your
Oh
show. It's
yes, yes,
amazing.
I appreciate
Thank you.
everyone. Too nice, yes, too nice, too nice. They just are just overly nice. Like I'm telling you, like sometimes a bottom feeder would just do anything to try to get in your good graces so that they can make that wedge into your life. They like oversell themselves. I mean you walking through the parking lot and there's a puddle and they lay their jacket down, or if you're going through something, they just jump at the opportunity to help you just so they can get on your good side. And just too nice in general. Like they're too available sometimes. Like when normal people would, I'm really nice, you are really nice. Thank you, Rashad. Sometimes like when uh they will seem like they're just too good to be true, and like they just dump all of their goodness all on top of you to convince you that they are like the right person for you, just so that they can smash, get you in bed, take advantage of you or whatever. But what I was trying to do is help you to identify what that bottom feeder really really is. They will treat you too good, too nice, be too syrupy. They'll seem to be too good to be true. They'll try to keep you on the phone for huge, long, extended amounts of time. They're only interested in seeing you in person and alone. They'll ask you the questions. Are you single? How old are you? Do you have any kids? Where do you live? Do you drink or smoke? And then they soon, very too soon, start to talk about sex. Just too soon. Oh, you're just too sexy. I can't control myself. You're just the most sexy, sexy, sexy thing. And those sexually explicit comments about your body just don't stop, and it's all like a setup so that when you are in person and you're in private, that's when they make their move on you. And so you would think, oh wow, this is really romantic, and this is just the connection was just so strong. You know what I mean? Because they know that you like them because they're fit, they're good looking, they've got their stuff together, and then they're all over you. So it makes you feel like, wow, I've been lonely, or I've been wanting to get with a good looking type of person, and here they are. And so you jump on it thinking that it's you know and for like a vulnerable person, right?
You just slowly start moving in.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, play I lay my jacket down for my girlfriend. I know that's right. Slowly start moving in already. That's exactly how they do.
Mm.
And they will it's not like these people that I was talking about, women who have small children and are the overweight and the unattractive and the handicapped and the way too young and stuff. It's not that they're not worthy of love and affection and attention. You need those things. Everyone is deserving of those types of things, but it's not that they're not worthy. It is that they're really being preyed upon, and bottom feeders will go to great lengths to fulfill those desires, and they do it in a numbers style. Like they just every girl moving, every girl who they can holler at, they do so. And it's like a huge amount, and it's a game of numbers, and whoever hits them up or whatever, they do it. Like a prime example is like dating sites, tagged, right?
Yeah.
Tagged, right?
Apparently, Tagged is not a dating site
It's
specifically
like a
anymore.
hookup site.
Supposedly, it's a networking site as well.
Is
So,
it?
yeah, I was told that when I was in a relationship, and I found the person on there, and they explained to me that it was for networking purposes. But anywho, yeah, dating sites.
Yeah. Yeah, dating sites, right?
Nigga.
But that's where they'll jump on you, and they not just you. You know, you could imagine as a woman that you're going through all these pictures of men and swiping left, and then boom, you see one who's really your style, and you swipe right. Right, that's not so for a bottom feeder. They swipe right, send a message. Swipe right, send a message. Swipe right, send a message. And it doesn't matter what you look like or anything like that. They'll say all kinds of stuff like, I'm a BBW lover. Whatever you are, that's what they love. Because they just want to have relationships or whatever with people and have sex or whatever. And anybody catching a bus or walking to the store, or while you're pumping your gas or going in the gas station, while you're even out with your children and stuff. Bottom feeders, they kind of know your secret desires, as far as like, wanting to have, another contributing, productive adult in the house. Right, these are common desires for a lot of people, and they can see the loneliness on you. Some, they can see that you want to have romance with someone else, and they know that you want attention and someone to give your attention to, and for some, they know that you need them to rescue you from poverty or otherwise real sketchy situations and stuff. And they use those secret desires of the disenfranchised, like, as a weapon or a tool against them, because they know what you want, so they promise you those types of things when they're not really interested in giving those things to you, and in the end you feel robbed, because they'll move on to the next person who they've been working, or, kind of working up to meet with them and spend time with them. And then they'll, kind of ghost you a little bit. And it leaves you feeling really used. It makes you feel robbed and very confused. So you might say to yourself, right, that she's not talking to me. She's not talking about any situation that I've ever been in. You might say to yourself, I've never had anybody use me. Law of averages, damn sure right. Hit them all, right? Yes. So, but the truth about, that I'm saying that it could be possibly happening to you, or it could have possibly, been tried, someone could have tried to do that to you, because bottom feeders do exist. They just rove around trying to pick up different people all the time. They're not really interested in a real relationship per se, and they're just out seeking, physical gratification. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that on the She Shed show, and give you some advice about bottom feeders, and let you know how to identify one. And the advice is that whenever you are approached for romance or more, I'm just gonna say more, vet your people. And I'm not talking about like a deep Google dive on this person, but you know what I'm saying? Like, contact your local county clerk, look on the website, type in their name, you know, right? And find out, you know, does this person have a history of theft? Does this person have a history of doing something that you're not comfortable being aligned with? Go online, find out, a little something about them. If you're able to, see their social media or something, so you can get a better grasp of, what type of person you might be dealing with, and then analyze the facts that you see in person. Like, does this person sleep late? Do they sleep all the way until like 12 noon or 1 o'clock or something like that? Are you aligned with people who sleep that late? Are they too available? You know what I mean? Like you're working, you got your day job, you got your night job, you have your hobby, you have all the projects that you're involved in and stuff. But this person is constantly calling you, always available, always wanting to see you and bugging you and stuff. Like this is bottom feeder activity. They always are offering you drugs and alcohol. Do you want to smoke? Do you want to drink?
Hmm.
You wanna go and you wanna come by? You know what I'm saying? I'm rolling up. Do you wanna come and smoke? That's one way. And I've seen people say online on Facebook sometimes, um, who wanna smoke and vibe. Code word for smash. Uh, other red flag behavior for bottom feeders. They never have their kids.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're always, solo dolo, never had nothing to do. They just trying to smash and smash and smash. They have seemingly insatiable sexual appetites. Like you can just have finished giving it to them good, and then all of a sudden they're just up and ready to go already again. And they have weird fetishes.
Hmm.
Um, opposites do attract, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It happens, you know what I'm saying? Like we've all seen, the older gentleman with the younger woman, they seem to have a great relationship. We've also seen, the older woman, or we've seen, all types of alternative relationships as of late. Everything has been, we know that opposites definitely do attract, but like attracts like is the rule of thumb. For most people, you will attract exactly what you are, and your mate will look almost a reflection in terms of character and principles and morals, look just like you.
What? What about opposites attracting?
Opposites do attract.
Okay.
They do attract, but they're an anomaly. It's not normal.
You don't think?
No, it's not normal.
Hmm.
Mm-mm. And if you pursue a relationship with somebody who's completely your opposite, it looks weird.
You
Yeah,
think?
and it's difficult to make those relationships work. I'll give you a prime example.
Okay.
90 day, what is that television show? 90
Oh,
Day
90 Day
Fiance.
Fiance? Okay, yeah, I think I've heard of it. I don't really watch TV, but
Yeah,
I've seen the little, commercial promo or whatever.
yeah, where these foreigners, people who are in other countries and stuff, are looking to come and move to America. They trying to escape the poverty or the situation that they might be in, and they begin courting and dating and sending messages to American people, both men and women, and they create these relationships. They start talking love, they start talking marriage, and before you know it, you have an American who is applying for the K1 visa so that
Mm.
they can bring their foreign lover over here. And then just, once they get over here, the sad fact of it is, like, they usually do not last, right?
They only have to last, I guess, long enough for them to, get their credentials.
And then they burn off. Man, there have been some completely terrible situations on 90 Day Fiance.
I haven't watched it.
They had this one time where this guy from Morocco was dating and courting a white woman here in America,
Mm.
and he came over here, and before you knew it, he was ready to go. He was ready to go because he thought he wanted to move to America. He thought this was the move, but he couldn't stand her. And then there was another one time, this guy, he was from like one of those kind of Middle Eastern kind of countries. I think they spoke Arabic, and she went over there to see him once or twice,
Mm.
and then they kind of turned around and boom, you know. He came to America and he dropped her like a bad habit.
Damn, he did all that.
Yep, sure did. Broke her heart, and her children watched it. They
Oh
were
my
present for
god.
it, and man, it was terrible. It was very difficult to watch. So When I say, vet the people who you might want to enter into a relationship with, it's not because I'm saying be mistrusting of love and romance or whatever, but I'm just saying move smart, protect yourself, make good decisions, especially when it comes to love and finance. Those two things can drag you down into the gutter. And by the time you realize what has happened to you, you have lost a lot. Now, we have spent a few moments talking about bottom feeders. I hope that this discussion or this presentation has been just the thing that you needed to look up and think about. Maybe how somebody has victimized you in your past, or how you might be victimizing somebody else.
Hmm.
Huh?
Hello.
So, listen, we're going to take a quick little intermission, listen to some music. I hope you're following us on YouTube and other social media platforms. We'll be right back in 2 minutes and we'll start talking about interjections.
Mm.
Don't hit that X.